Okay, so this is going to be a tutorial on the Final Fantasy XIII snow route for Chapter 9, Bridge Access, and the first Barthandelus fight. So I guess we'll just get started. I'm pretty sure this save point's done before the menu. So I'm just going to double check where I am. Okay, so we've got the menu first. So I'm just going to blast through this pretty quick. So it has snow, paradigms. Of equipment. Oops. So the first fight is, so it takes the same route as the Fang route does down the bridge. So the first fight is the one straight ahead, then it's go left, and then go down right to the flying fight. See on the left side of the screen now. On again to the Thermodon fight, and then the Reaver and Flying Soldiers fight. So this first fight is very basic. Potion at the start. Take off the initial HP hits. 2 blitzes on the destroyer. Shouldn't try disaster.
Keep the enemy off balance.
This initial aggro will make the slight healing, so you have time to potion. Stagger. We'll do just a couple of extra things afterwards. And then just spam blitzes until things die. Mainly focus on the destroyer, because Snow will focus on other things, and if you get nice positioning, then you're going to get multiple things in your blitzes. You can execute things early, try and kill things faster, etc. You know, it's pretty straightforward fight, there's nothing too interesting going on. Manage your ATB well, which I didn't really do. Let me go left here. Right, going over this bridge. Contrary to the Fang route, we're not going to pick up the Libroscope here. Just because Libroscopes aren't really as necessary in the Fang route, in the Snow route as in the Fang route. They're used in a lot less places. And we already have our Libroscope for the Barthandelus fight anyway. So the second fight is a lot less sketchy than in the Fang route, which is nice. It's obviously just run in. Okay, cool. You want to instant shift to Guarded Assault or Strategic Warfare. Oops. Potion. Again, just to take the initial hit off the damage. And then Blitz the Destroyer. Now, hopefully you'll be interrupting 1 or 2 of the Dragoons, which is fine because they're the only damage dealers in the fight, as well as the Bazooka from the Destroyer. So mainly just continue on like this. You're just spamming blitzes until Snow gets at least very 3 individuals. And you can potion if necessary if things get a little sketchy, but Snow should be fine. So we're actually going to potion here, and then shift to Cerberus. Now the main reason you kind of want to be careful is you want to stop Bazooka from happening, because then you just wipe like that. Okay. That was bad. So that's a thing that can happen apparently. It's the first time I've actually died to that fight, so that's cool. But yes, you shouldn't be afraid to potion.
You know what to do.
You need to. Because this fight can get a little scary. And of course the main issue is Bazooka. You're doing 1700 damage a hit, so it's pretty nice. This is a really nice positioning actually. Okay, so I'm gonna shift now. So I shifted a bit late there, you can probably shift a lot earlier. I was playing it safe after that first death. Continue straight down here as normal. And as normal we're gonna grab the guild chest. Okay, fight free. So initially what you're going to do is target the soldier, and then shift to try disaster. It's just second paradigm, so you can do it pretty quickly, and the cells will probably get hazed off. Alternate strikes, change to stagger. When you hit stagger, switch to strategic warfare. Launch. And you can like blitz. Okay, so I did that wrong. So you'll notice that what happened there is I got photon bursted. The idea is that you should be shifting before that triggers, so that he's aiming on snow because of provoke. Do you want to do one round of... Never mind. Apparently I'm mistaken as how this fight works.
Keep a cool head.
That works.
New strategy.
Try that.
So you want to launch him with attacks and then blitzes when he lands. Whoops. Get destroyed. Okay. Try disaster, repeat on the radar. This time go to strike team when he staggers. Again, attacks. The blitz when he lands. And then back to try disaster again. And then you just want to stagger pretty much, so strikes. No, this is bad, I actually need a potion here. Yeah. The photon burst is getting on lightning, which is not ideal. Once you hit stagger, combo for a strike or just shift. And then just do attacks. And Saz will end water, and then you can switch to Cerberus as he's dropping and repeat blitzes. Assuming you get that before snow does. In general, the kind of idea is to make provoke keep photon burst away from you, but it's not that simple, which is irritating. But that's the general idea on the fight, and if lightning gets hit, the potion will make it so she won't die from the second hit anyway. So bridge 4, again we're going to instant shift to strategic warfare. Yeah, I got it right that time. Okay. So now we're basically just going to potion until everybody has haste. If you get some nasty aggro on this fight. Really nasty aggro. Okay. Once everybody has haste, start blitzing dragoons. And you want to just keep blitzing dragoons. Don't be afraid to change the targeting to make sure you're getting multiples. So like here I'm selecting this guy so that I'm hitting 2 dragoons in my blitzes. And also, you know, potion if necessary. You don't want Snow to die, because that's going to cause all sorts of issues. Okay. So when you get like nice positioning like this, and usually when like when you've killed 2 or 3, you want to switch your... I mean, I won't do it now because these positions are bad. But you want to kind of shift your target onto the breather, and then you just want to change. You want to just pretty much let off a single auto chain. That's like 150 chain or so. Nothing major, just enough. Potion if you need it, you know, if you don't want to die. And then just pretty much just go in and do attacks. I mean, you have vigilance, so you're keeping him interrupted. Especially if you're going at opposite snow.
Be ready for the next fight.
So that's 4 bridge fights. I mean, the third one's the only one that's got anything pretty interesting. Everything else is pretty basic. Do a little bit of menu here. Grab Endfire, Sans. And 3 HP nodes. So now you get Overwhelm and Ravager. And the next node. And then Vanille go into a medic. And we give her pretty much just 2 whole rings. Oops, Saboteur. Grab her Quake. Her Imperil, and her accessory outside of the ring. So Imperil is just up this way, and then the accessory out of ring is at the end of this ring. There we go. I'm gonna grab the Ether Soul here before the fight. You could in theory cut this out, it's not actually necessary, and there's a spare Ether Soul in the route overall. You don't use one before Pro Cloud 1, which again is not unnecessary Ether Soul. But I would probably just recommend still getting it until you choose where you want to cut out your own Ether Soul. Important thing here, use a Fortis Soul before going into the fight, or nothing's gonna work. Let's see if I can get this strap. So it's important to understand that the second half of this fight is pretty tricky to pull off correctly, but really awesome if you do. So, target Bart, wait for Snow to start attacking. Drop to right pauldron and throw a beam scope. That's to make sure you get Vigilance on at least Lightning, and then you start getting end spells. But it also keeps Snow away from Bart. Because if Snow attacks Bart, then bad things are going to happen. 2 attacks, 2 strings of attacks and a potion. Pretty much once everybody has buffs, you can shift to Cerberus. And now we're just going to continue attacking the pauldron until it dies. In the meantime, Snow will kill the left Halo. Enchanted Bell is not great, because yeah, Protect. This isn't a good opening, because I got Protect on this head. Doesn't really change the fight much, it just makes it slower in general. So there's left Halo. You now notice that Snow lost his end spell because he started attacking a different element head. Once this head dies, wow, really? Okay. You want to switch to Strike Team, and you want to throw a potion, and let's make sure you get your end spell before you start doing attacks. And you want to actually stay in Strike Team for a while. Potion again. And then target Pauldron. After you do attacks, shift to Cerberus. I mean, basically, you know, you want to kill it before it gets off one again, which I did not do. And you can kind of manipulate the RKI a bit to help you out with that. Once you kill all the heads, switch to Try Disaster for a potion, and then do Fire Thunder, Fire Thunder. Or Fire Water, or any combination of spells you want, it doesn't really matter what you do. And then for a Quake.
Defeat is not an option.
And then just chain, pretty much. I mean, at the moment you're just chaining, like, lots of chaining. Just try and refresh. So the general idea is, because we have Quake, we have max stagger duration, so we want to chain, stagger. And then what we're going to do is, hopefully, we're going to abuse Lightning and Snow having similar ATB times at 4 strings of attacks. Right, so here we go. This is where things get interesting. Once you hit around 700% chain, you're going to switch into Cerberus, and you're going to try and maintain interruption on Bart by using single attacks, like attack strings, opposite Snow. Now, the timing on this is really tight, because you need Snow to start doing his attacks to cover your shift. So, if you get Bart's head to lift up from an attack, then what you want to do is Snow will jump up to do strikes, and you want to make him drop so that he refreshes. While he does his ready animation. If he's on the ground, you can attempt to refresh Snow. So, here we go.
Barthandelus.
Okay, there's his head. So I'm actually going to wait for Snow to stop his attack strings. No. Okay, here's the interruption. So as Snow finishes, you go. Ah, okay. So I went too early there. You have to wait a little bit, but you don't want to wait too much, obviously. So we'll do the fight again. I mean, if you hit Destrudo, then you can just use Try Disasters and Cerberus's, like, to deal damage. But this is the ideal I'm trying to show here. So again, start the fight, hover over Bart.
Cocoon's nothing to you?
As soon as the AI fills, swap through the scope. If done correctly, Saz's second will be an end spell. Yeah, there you go. So you'll get Vigilance and then Frost very early. First string of attacks and then potion. I didn't do this potion last time because the order was messed up. And then second string of attacks. And Snow, Saz should Vigilance everybody before you shift. There you go. Again, just repeat as needed. Potion as needed. Once people start getting down to like half health, that's when you want to kind of potion. Protect again, that's really annoying. So again, Snow's end spell is going to drop once he kills Cauldron. Okay. Switch. Potion.
Thanks.
Got our end spells back. I'm actually gonna try and do this properly this time. Okay, this is my end spell. Yeah. Oh, protect! That's nasty. It's pretty bad RNG. Yeah, Vortiger isn't as scary when you're in the air, which is nice. Yeah, that's gonna kill. So again, you want to switch into Trisaster to make sure nobody hits him before the end of the animation, because you want to attempt to not lose any end spells on people. I'm dead. I'm not dead. Nice. That was a bad idea. I should have potioned before that. I got lucky. That's cool. I'll take luck. So again, just chaining. And I mean, you don't want to be refreshing too often, because especially when you get up to higher chain numbers, you want to be at the point where you can instantly go to Cerberus when you hit the 700. So I'll just refresh here. There's about 2 strings should put me near 700. Okay, so that's Snow's first string. So I'm kind of keeping an eye on Snow here, mainly. Yeah, I should do it. Oh, this is kind of bad. Yeah. So the issue is that Saz won't maintain it. And once you drop it, it's pretty much stupid. So you'll notice I actually stagger ran out before the Strudo happened. That can happen. Kind of annoying when it does, really. This is fine, it dies. So again, the issue is, well, the issue that time is that I went too late. So the Lightning's last attack hit at the same time as Snow's 4th attack, which means that it's like game over. Kill. There you go. So that was a 321, that was a really bad fight, to be honest. But you get the general kind of idea. The issue with the Interruption is that it's not necessarily RNG, but requires a very high degree of control over your character's kind of positions and switchings. I don't have it consistent yet, and I would definitely recommend for you to practice it if you want to go for the Interruption. But the general idea, like I said, is to shift when Snow is on the ground and Bart's head is on the ground, so that he starts doing attacks. And then, as soon as he finishes his 4th attack, if Lightning is far away, when he's doing his 4th attack, you want to start your running, so that the pace in between attacks is roughly similar. Because Lightning's last attack has a delay on it, but it still works at the same point, like the same delay overall. Bart won't lose his Interruption from Lightning's 4th attack, so it should still be good. That's Bridge and Bart 1. I'll probably make an update to this video with better play at some point. And if I understand the Part 1 strat, then I'll update it, but for now, this works. This ended up being a lot longer than I thought it was going to be. Hopefully this helped you guys, and thanks for watching.